The Monk Who Sold a Ferrari by Robin Sharma is a powerful self-help fable that combines storytelling with life lessons about happiness, discipline, purpose, and inner peace. The book begins by introducing Julian Mantle, a famous and highly successful lawyer known across the country for his brilliant courtroom performances and unstoppable ambition. Julian is the kind of man people admire and envy. He has everything that society tells people to chase: wealth, fame, luxury, and power. He owns a huge mansion, expensive suits, a private jet, and the symbol of his success, a shiny red Ferrari. He is respected by colleagues, feared by opponents, and admired by the public. To the outside world, Julian seems like a man living the perfect dream. However, beneath the surface, Julian's life is falling apart. He works 18-hour days, barely sleeps, eats unhealthy food, and is constantly under pressure. He has no real peace of mind. His relationships are broken. He has no emotional balance, and his health is deteriorating rapidly. The stress of his lifestyle is destroying him physically, mentally, and spiritually. His face becomes pale and tired, his body weak, and his soul empty. He begins to feel trapped in a cycle of endless work and meaningless achievements. Despite all his wealth, he is deeply unhappy. One day, during a dramatic courtroom trial, Julian collapses from a heart attack. He falls to the floor in front of everyone, shocking the courtroom. This event becomes a wake-up call that changes everything. After recovering in the hospital, Julian realizes he cannot continue living the same way. He understands that his life has been built on false values. Soon after, he disappears without telling anyone where he is going. He sells his mansion, his expensive possessions, and most symbolically, his beloved Ferrari. People assume he has gone crazy. His disappearance becomes a mystery. Months pass. Then one evening, Julian unexpectedly appears in the office of John, his former colleague and friend. John is shocked because Julian looks like a completely different person. Instead of an exhausted old man, he looks youthful, vibrant, peaceful, and full of energy. His eyes shine, his skin glows, and he radiates calmness and joy. He looks younger by decades. John can hardly believe it is the same man. Julian then begins to tell John the story of his transformation. After leaving his old life behind, Julian traveled to India in search of meaning and wisdom. He wandered through villages, studied spiritual traditions, and searched for answers about happiness and fulfillment. Eventually, after much struggle and determination, he journeyed into the Himalayan mountains. They discovered a hidden community of monks called the Sages of Savannah. These monks lived in harmony with nature and possessed ancient wisdom about living a balanced and meaningful life. Among them was Yogi Raman, a wise and joyful monk who became Julian's teacher. Yogi Raman agreed to teach Julian the secrets of a truly extraordinary life. Julian explains that Yogi Raman taught him the principles of enlightenment through a mystical story filled with symbols. Each symbol represents one key lesson. The first symbol is a magnificent lush garden. This garden represents the mind. Just as a garden must be carefully cultivated to produce beautiful flowers and fruits, the mind must be cared for and protected. Negative thoughts are like weeds that destroy the beauty of the garden. Positive thoughts are like seeds that create a beautiful life. The quality of a person's life depends on the quality of their thoughts. If the mind is filled with fear, anger, worry, and negativity, life becomes painful. If the mind is filled with love, peace, courage, and gratitude, life becomes joyful. Julian teaches John practical techniques for mastering the mind. One of them is a Heart of the Rose exercise, where a person stays at the center of a rose and focuses deeply to strengthen concentration. Another practice is positive visualization, seeing goals and dreams clearly in the mind. The second symbol in the story is a towering lighthouse. The lighthouse represents purpose and goals. A lighthouse stands strong and guides ships safely through storms and darkness. In the same way, having a clear purpose guides a person through life's challenges. Without purpose, people drift aimlessly and feel lost. Purpose gives direction, meaning, and motivation. Yogi Raman teaches Julian to discover his mission and set meaningful goals in all areas of life. Goals should be clear, specific, and inspiring. He explains that the process of striving toward worthy goals brings happiness and growth. The third symbol is a giant Japanese sumo wrestler. The sumo wrestler represents Kaizen, the Japanese principle of continuous improvement. To live an extraordinary life, one must constantly improve physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Growth should never stop. A person must keep learning, practicing, and evolving every day. The sumo wrestler is also wearing a pink wire cable, which represents self-discipline. Discipline is a foundation of mastery. Without discipline, goals remain dreams. With discipline, dreams become reality. Yogi Raman teaches Julian that willpower is like a muscle. The more it is used, the stronger it becomes. Small acts of discipline each day create inner strength. For example, waking up early, exercising regularly, controlling thoughts, and doing difficult tasks build character. The fourth symbol is a stopwatch made of gold. The stopwatch represents time, the most precious resource. Money can be lost and regained. Possessions can be replaced. Time cannot. Every second that passes is gone forever. Most people waste their lives on distractions, meaningless activities, and unnecessary worries. Yogi Raman teaches Julian to simplify life and focus on what truly matters. Effective time management is not about doing more things. It is about doing the right things. Julian learns to say no to activities that do not align with his purpose. He learns to organize his day and protect his energy. By respecting time, a person creates freedom and peace. The fifth symbol is a bouquet of fresh roses. The roses represent service and kindness. The purpose of life is not just personal achievement, but contribution. True happiness comes from helping others, giving love, and making a difference. Success without service is empty. Julian realizes that in his old life he was obsessed only with winning and wealth. He rarely thought about helping others. The monks teach him that compassion and generosity bring deep fulfillment. Even small acts of kindness can transform lives. Serving others creates meaning and joy. The sixth symbol is a path covered in diamonds. The diamonds represent living in the present moment. Many people are trapped in the past, regretting mistakes and carrying pain. Others are trapped in the future, worrying about problems that may never happen. Both steal joy. Life exists only in the present. The monks teach Julian to appreciate the beauty of each moment. Every day contains miracles if one pays attention. A sunrise, a smile, a conversation, a breath, all are precious. Living in the now brings peace and happiness. The seventh and final symbol is the blazing red sumo wrestler stepping onto the path of diamonds. This symbolizes living boldly and embracing life fully. It reminds people to act now rather than delay dreams and happiness. Too many people wait for the perfect time to live, love, and grow. The perfect time is now. Action creates transformation. Along with these symbolic lessons, Julian shares many practical habits he learned from the monks. They wake up early before sunrise to start the day peacefully. They practice silence and meditation to calm the mind. They exercise daily to strengthen the body. They eat simple, healthy foods to maintain energy and health. They breathe deeply and consciously to increase vitality. They read books and learn continuously to expand wisdom. They reflect and journal daily to understand themselves. They laugh often and maintain a playful spirit. They spend time in nature and appreciate life's beauty. They avoid negative influences and protect mental energy. They focus on gratitude and positivity. Julian realizes that his old life was based on the false belief that success equals money and status. He had sacrificed his health, relationships, and inner peace for material rewards. But the monks show him that real success is inner peace, strong health, loving relationships, meaningful work, and service to others. Wealth is not wrong, but it should not control life. External success without internal fulfillment is hollow. As Julian continues his training, he becomes physically healthier, mentally stronger, and spiritually awakened. He learns to control his thoughts, manage his time, pursue his purpose, and live with compassion. He experiences joy and peace for the first time in years. His transformation is so powerful that when he returns home, he looks like a new man. Julian decides not to keep this wisdom to himself. He makes it his mission to share the teachings with others. He begins by teaching John, who realizes he too has become trapped in stress and endless ambition. John listens throughout the night as Julian explains each lesson in detail. By the end of their conversation, John feels inspired to change his own life. He promises to apply the wisdom and become a better husband, father, and person. The book's message is simple but profound. Mastery begins within. The mind shapes reality. Discipline creates freedom. Purpose gives life meaning. Time is precious. Service brings joy. Living in the present creates peace. Action creates results. Through Julian Mantle's journey from burnout to enlightenment, the book teaches that anyone can transform their life no matter how lost they feel. It is never too late to change. People do not need to abandon society or climb mountains to find happiness. They can apply these principles in everyday life. By mastering the mind, following purpose, respecting time, and serving others, a person can create an extraordinary life filled with health, peace, love, and fulfillment. The story inspires readers to question society's definition of success and create their own path based on values that truly matter. In the end, The Monk Who Sold a Ferrari is not really about selling a car. It is about letting go of the things that do not serve you: stress, greed, fear, ego, and unhealthy habits, and embracing wisdom, discipline, peace, and purpose. It reminds readers that the richest life is not measured by possessions, but by the quality of thoughts, the depth of relationships, the strength of character, and the joy of each day lived fully.